So I'm one of the managing partner of Scale Up Malaysia. So Scale Up Malaysia, basically, we are one of the top accelerator in Malaysia. We basically accelerate a lot of high growth technology startups. Today, we have already invested into about 30 companies. We already have one exit. Any investors in the room, we are great people for you to invest your funds with. So today session is actually all about women entrepreneur. And I'm actually very privileged when I reach out to these two ladies, and immediately they both say, "Oh yes, we can come." Yeah, so thank you so much, Steph and Sue Yii. So without further ado, I would actually like to ask if the both of them can sort of do a 2 minutes introduction about themselves. Maybe you can start with Steph first.
The older first, right?
Yes, the most Anglo one first.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I'm the co-founder and group CEO of Inmagine, a creative ecosystem where we empower everybody to become designer. So if you have heard of 123RF, that's one of our stock content division. And we recently embarked on pivoting into a SaaS model, not just on the stock content. So we are embarking into a SaaS model where we acquire Pixlr, one of the #1 online editing tool from Autodesk in year 2017, and pivoting it into AI-assisted editing tool. So 123RF has been a long story. It's been one of the world's largest stock content. So we know somewhere along the line, we have to change and adapt to what designers are looking for. So hence the pivoting moment right now and transformation. So we have been in the business for more than 20 years. We have presence in about 44 countries. So it has been, Google AdWords has been helping us a lot when we first started, and how we actually reached out a journey from a very Malaysia soy-based kind of business to a global business. So miracle does happen with the right time and luck, what my husband always say. So I have been with the business since he started, and I was also quite instrumental in HR transformation, women rights, empowerment, diversity, inclusive, culture, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's what I have been doing.
Thank you, Steph. Very, very awesome to 20 years in business and still look so young. Yeah. So that means anybody thinking of going business, you can ask her what's the secret. Later, she'll share. Sui?
My name is Yap Sue Yii. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Komuniti Tukang Jahit, short for KTJ. So what we do is we empower B40 women with tailoring skills, and then we provide them job opportunities that we get from corporates. So why do we do it? I guess we wanted to fill a gap where we notice women staying at home, taking care of the children full time, but they do not have the ability to walk in or clock in a 9-to-5 job. So we realized that they have slots of hours after taking care of the children that they can actually utilize it and turn it to income. So they learn the sewing skills from us. We provide them the SOPs, we provide them the templates, we teach them so that we can then standardize how can we make 5,000 face masks of the same shape, of the same size, just like a factory, but then to also then give it out to corporate. So we do that. And we're also considered what you can say a creative company, I would say, because we don't just do sewing. We can actually, so long we feel that it's a teachable skill, we can upskill the B40 community so that this provides them this sustainable income. Yep. So we're an accredited social enterprise as well.
So you can run a business, make money, but at the same time you can also do good. So that's where Sue is from. So I in the room, some of them are really very young, maybe not of legal age to drive. So probably the next question would be, the answers would be something that you guys may be inspired by. So any one of you can take this question, right? Can you share with me a pivotal moment in your entrepreneurship journey that inspired you or affirm your conviction that entrepreneurship is a path for you, and why? So rather than, once you graduate, you start going to job portals to look for job. What was that pivotal moment that made you think that, I am on the right track and entrepreneurship is a path for me?
Yeah. I go first? All right. I guess there was 2 pivotal moments. It's going to be quite shocking, but I guess my friend here, Sufei, reminded me that I actually was supposed to go overseas to finish my studies. But then I met you. For those who don't know, I actually started my entrepreneurship journey at 19. And I went and pitched for Cradle. And I got the Cradle fund. I didn't know what to do. I was supposed to go to UK to finish my degree. And that's where I had a whole, not to say fight out, but I had to do a presentation to my mom and explain to her that I could not get this opportunity ever again. So that's when I actually forgo and decided to complete my studies locally and pursue entrepreneurship. So that was one pivotal moment. And my second was actually very awakening. When I did my presentation to her, it was for a business for crowdfunding for fashion. It was meant to empower aspiring fashion designers. But through that was then how I found my B40 community. Because in short, my platform needed manufacturers. But no manufacturers could do it in the thousands or the hundreds. So I had to find a solution, right? So I went knocking on akak-akak door, makcik-makcik door, those who actually does this sewing on seasonal basis, right? So that's when I realized, hey, these ladies need more orders and my designers don't really need my help. So, through that, I realized, running a startup, I also have to accept my failures. I have to also then pivot my business into something that was workable. So the crowdfunding platform didn't make it, I would say, but it pivoted into a social enterprise in the end. Yeah. So that was two.
Wow, your designer didn't need you?
Sorry?
Your designer didn't need you?
So the real truth is that fashion designers in Malaysia, they are quite wealthy already. They don't need a crowdfunding platform.
I see. Yeah, anybody, you can pursue a fashion design course. Yeah. Steph?
Okay, mine is a bit long story because I have to go back. Everybody have to go back with me when I was 18 or 19 after my SPM. So as a very rebellious child, I didn't really follow my parents' instruction. After SPM, go and get diploma and degree. Because my dream is to become a musician. I want to study in Trinity College of UK, that kind of thing. Crazy, right? I have diploma in piano anyway. So, but my dad said, you're not talented at all. Don't. Go and do a marketing or something.
Ouch.
All right? So, my dad is a business person, so he's a businessman. So I said, okay, since you're not allowed me to do this, I'm going to do that. So I actually got recruited by Yamaha Music in Ipoh branch, and I started working. And I thought it's like while waiting for my SPM result, right? So honeymoon time, 3 months, why not, right? And I still remember, I always tell my team, my first salary was only 520 ringgit. That was 1994. And now you can guess how old am I. So then, after that, after 3 months, results come out, I kind of like the job. I'm like addicted to the job already. So I told my dad, okay, fly kite, I'm not going to study, I'm going to continue to work. All right, without anything, just an SPM holder, working. The first pivotal moment was actually 1998, 97, 98, when recession kicks in. Company restructure, okay? But of course, we are the lower rank, right? Only the upper rank got goreng lah, right? We were quite safe. So, but then we have to do more work. Now, being a very young lady that time, very rebellious, remember I said, and also very aggressive, I said, shit, have to do more work, but salary not increased. That's why now I'm in HR, I can tell you, because I understand, I mirror what I've done when I was young, right? I totally understand what's the young millennial or whatever thinking about. So I say, oh shit, I think doing own business is better, right? Instead of working for someone, it's so uncertain. Wow, I do not know when is my turn, all right? So I went and enrolled myself into International College Penang. Then I go and I enrolled already, only I told my dad, I'm going back to study. And then I tender my resignation. That's where that's where I found out that, okay, doing own business is safer. Then throughout my advanced diploma and going to degree, I met Andy. Andy, back then my boyfriend, of course now my husband, he came back from UK with the current business model. So happened I'm helping him for the business plan. That time is already also seeing investors. That time they have first Tuesday or first Thursday, that kind of thing.
That kind of
yes.
Correct.
So we also have been going out looking for investors. This take the business plan that I do for him. So naturally, I become a free labor.
Your friend, ma.
free labor, and since then started working together and build the business together. So it's kind of like timing, and also after that I graduated from my marketing degree, so I've been helping him since then. So
And that's 20 years.
yes,
Are you,
more
are
than
you
20
being
years.
paid right now?
Oh yes,
No more free labor, yeah?
no more free labor.
That's great, that's great. So yeah, for young ladies, mommy can pay you 520 for start first, okay? But don't be rebellious. Okay, so my second question for the both of you is that we all know that the majority of working age women, we wear multiple hats. For the men, you may not be able to appreciate this, but yeah, the women, yeah, they wear multiple hats. In a 24 hours day, right, from being a wife, being a mommy, being a loving wife, and then also daughter or daughter-in-law to your in-laws and all. And then also you have a career and executive or bosses, right? So sometimes these roles tend to overlap, requiring your attention all at the same time, right? Can I know what are both your secret sauces in managing these challenges? And are there ways that you have tried and tested that you can share with us so that, you know, I don't shout at my husband or shout at my daughter, that I can manage my stress properly? So this is a very personal question, and I needed to learn from the ones who have actually gone through that journey. Yeah. Seth, would you like to share that with us?
Okay, based on a personal experience, it's time management and priority. So I block myself in a different time frame throughout the day. The morning, this is what I'm going to do. I send the girls to school, right? That's where I have a half an hour journey with them. Then after that, we pak tor, go breakfast. Then wear my hat as a wife, as a lover, right? Then we don't talk about business. We used to talk about business those days when we didn't have our kids. It's a 24/7 thing, you know. My business is 24/7 because we have businesses in US and Europe. And I'm in sales. Andy is in tech and finances. So I'm in sales, I need the product. He's in tech, he's in the finances, he's the product side. And when they cannot supply the product that salespeople want, what will happen? Arguments, right? So we tend to actually argue a lot. And from there, we learn the lesson of, you know, splitting our time. So once we reach home, we try not to discuss about business anymore, right? But sometimes unavoidable because I have my night session with my US team, for example. So 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, so, hey, the team say this is happening, you know what's going on? Wait, talk tomorrow. You know, then I go and, okay, then the support comes from other team members, my CTO and the rest. I will have to reach out to the rest. So it's about time management and priority. So, and as an entrepreneur, the beauty is the flexibility. But you have to commit your Saturday and Sunday as well. There's no such thing as Monday to Friday. I'm sure if you're an entrepreneur, you know. Even Saturday, Sunday, you work. So I spread my time even through Saturday, Sunday, working and with my mom, with my brother, with my children, with my husband. So it spread nicely across 7 days a week.
Yeah, I think it's very true. I think many people, even like for myself, I've always been in employment until I joined Skilla, which is considered my first entrepreneurship journey, right? So, and I then realized that yes, entrepreneurship gives you flexibility, but that means that, yeah, it's Monday to Sunday. There's no such thing as like Monday to Friday you work, then Saturday, Sunday you no need to do anything, no need to check email, no need to answer your partner call you, you must pick up the phone, you know, that sort of a thing, right? So it gives you the flexibility, so it's sort of like a, you know, you give and take lah, right? Sue, you want to share your secret sauce?
I think it's almost similar lah, but then maybe mine is that I added 2 more things. One is balancing, and another one is finding, not to say a benchmark, but someone who inspires you. And you'll be shocked if I would say you're one of them. Because I remember then, really, not trying to shoe shine, but it's true. When I walked in Cradle, I was very young lah. Huh? I was very scared. Like, to be honest, I was always throwing myself in very uncomfortable situations, but I felt that was one way to grow. I was alone. I had no peers who understand what I was trying to do. No one, my parents couldn't understand what I was trying to do. Like, I even questioned myself, what am I trying to do sometimes? But when I walk in, I see you, you know, with this nice, tall heels, dressed up VP of Cradle, damn scary. Okay? I was very scared. I remember I had to pitch to you as well. So I guess I always looked at women differently. They are all inspirations to me because if they can handle a family, a career, wear high heels and still look good in the mornings, I can't complain, because then, we always tend to self-pity sometimes, like, oh, I'm working till 3 a.m. But then we are comparing to those who aren't. But if you look to who you want to be, if they are working till 5, then I can't complain. Yeah. So I guess to me, it's like, if I can place someone as my benchmark and then see what would they do better and how did they manage or balance, then I guess then it's the emotional balancing. Because if I'm not so, sad and self-pitying all the time, I can be then able to adjust my time, to create time for everything. Yeah.
So not
I
to
hope it
feel
makes
like,
sense.
it's sort of like, don't feel like you are a victim,
Yeah.
of the path that you actually chose, right? Because there are people who have walked the same path and who had created successes, so that, those are the ones that actually push you forward in your steps. So, so I'm going to go into specific, right, to Steph, this one, right? So like you mentioned, right, you started Inmagine Group with your husband, Andy, and you grew it from Malaysia, and now you're in 44 countries and you have 350 employees around the world, right? Can you share with us how and what you did right in keeping the union going strong and then achieving such amazing results? So you did mention that, like, you go breakfast and pak tor with your husband after you drop off your girls and stuff like that. How did you change from, like, not talking about business when, you are together and stuff like that, which you did share, then you go to some of your CTOs and stuff like that. But for 20 years, living under the same roof, working with the same guy, cannot look at any other guys, how did you survive and keep the love continue to sort of blossom, and then to be able to create a business that you are now known globally and the largest stock image company in the world, right? So I think, I'm sure not many of you would know, right? You have gone through and downloaded illegally pictures that you want to use for your presentation and stuff like that. Then, yeah, that's where she lose money. But yeah, so she's like, a lady behind one of the largest stock image company in the world, and not just Malaysia. So, but on the personal side of things, yeah, how did you keep that union so strong, Every day I see you there. If I see my husband every day, cannot tahan, So like divorce rate was extremely high during MCO, right? Because they realized, oh my God, I have to be with this person 24 hours a day, right? So can you share, like, how did you do it for especially some of the women in the room who are in similar situation like you?
Okay, I'm not going to take all the credits. And I think if Andy is in the room today, he say, I know when to keep my mouth shut. That's what he always say to anybody. And he always say, do not do business with your partner if you have a choice. It's actually a very tough journey. But the beauty about what we are doing is because we have splitted our role very clearly. We in charge of different things. You don't step on my toe, I don't step on my toe. This is my territory. I'm the captain of this. I make sure it's my decision. And this is your territory, then you can command, right? But there is a limit, right? And this your territory, we can command as well, but we don't step into each other's toes, in a way, in a respectful way. There are times that, as I mentioned, at the earlier days when you're still young, when you're still so gung-ho, so much effort, really, 4 hours of sleep, the most, the rest is really about working, hacking the business, growing it. There are numerous conversations and arguments. They're bound to happen, all right? It is not like always sweet talk, it's not always like so sweet. Like what you see in some other people's Facebook or Instagram, they only post all the positive things, right? That's why he doesn't post anything about me or about the family. And I don't do that as well, But the thing is, the respect has to be there. At the end of the day, you look at the strengths and the positive side of this person, you see, and the business as well. At the end, all the arguments, it comes back to one thing. For the business.
Same goal.
It's the same. The one thing that keeps us moving is because we have the same goal. Yeah. So if not, then I think we have been sayonara a long time already.
I think that's a very good thing. Yeah, you must know that you both have the same goal in life, not just in terms of business, but also personally in terms of like what do you want to achieve as a family together, right? Yeah. Thank you for sharing. I'm sure some of them may have other questions to drill you later. So this is specific for Sue Yii. Like you said, you started your journey even before you completed your studies, right? And you actually forgo your studies to take the 300,000 grant and then started your design crowdfunding business, right? And now you have actually built a recognizable brand. I think like some of the big corporates actually uses you, like BMW and all, right? And congratulations, you have just got engaged, right?
Thank you.
So as you start this new chapter after hearing from Steph, and yeah, you will now start to sort of build a family. Are there fears that you have? And if yes, what will be your wish list of support you feel is much needed for women entrepreneurs who are in a similar stage in life like you? If not, tell us what you wish to see more in the ecosystem that can motivate more women to walk the path that you and Steph has actually taken.
I guess part of what she shared makes sense. In some ways, I'm not married yet, but I guess having a very supportive partner is, I think, key, first of all. I have had, during my entrepreneurship journey in the early days, I have had a partner who wasn't that supportive in a sense, and it really affected the growth in my company, in me as a person, and in many aspects. That the minute that changed, you can actually see it as see yourself growing, the business growing, because then you don't have anything to worry about anymore. All you focus on is yourself and business, right? So number one, I guess, is having a supportive partner is important. I think it's key in everything we do in life. And probably, if you're saying what would I like to see more support in an ecosystem, is that, like having such forums or such sharing. I can imagine if I was sitting in the crowd and hearing it, I wouldn't be that afraid to jump in entrepreneurship journey anymore, because it's the fear. Like how I said earlier, like the minute at 19 I stepped in cradle, everyone around me was so, a bit terrifying looking, I would say, because, everyone's so corporate. I've never walked into an office before. I've never been hired before. So I don't know what it was like, to even enter an interview. And then now I have to do the interview. So everything is very new for me. But by attending this kind of events and learning more, hearing more from, like staff like you, I get to then be less afraid. I think that helps the ecosystem a lot more. I think that's what the government's trying to do as well. The private sectors are probably doing better at it, because, you go straight into like the women in tech. We're like, these are the things that women need to hear. It's available out there. I think back then it was just startup. Right now it's like, we're making it more prominent to the women's sector.
Focus,
Yeah, so even then the B40 woman itself, that's another sector everyone wants to jump into. So, woman, a category of that is being spoken out more. So that creates a lot of awareness. Yeah.
Thank you, Sue Yii. I'm going to open the floor to questions. If any of you have any questions to ask the panelists, be it today you have male or female. If you're thinking of marrying an entrepreneur girlfriend, you may want to ask them what you should do or learn that their partners have been doing right, so that you don't make the mistake and she continue to love you. So for you guys in the room, you can ask questions too, and not just the ladies. Yeah, it's a very informal thing. Ask as much as you want, because like what Sue Yii said, this is the kind of forum that you learn. Don't be afraid. Yeah, I'm not going to eat you. Like, I'm sure I've came down, I'm not going to eat you. Yeah. Any questions on the floor from the young lady too? Thank you for asking.
No worries. I figured someone should start the ball rolling. Yeah, I think the main question I have is, first of all, I'm married. So it's more towards, I'm not too sure who's supposed to answer, or both of you have an insight on this. So I strongly believe in self-care. In order for you to take care of everyone else, you need to take care of you first. So my sister is an entrepreneur as well, and I can see as a mother, you tend to, mother, daughter-in-law, and as well as a wife, you tend to prioritize everyone else first, and then you. So how would you implore women to sort of have more of self-care in their daily schedule? Because, per se, like in your situation, in the morning, you take care of your kids. And I know taking care of everyone else is happiness, but how do you allocate time for you to work on your own self and personal skills?
Thank you. I recently attended one of the events called Journey of Humanity, and this is what I learned. Yes, you're right. Being a mother, wearing different hats, You always take care and look after people's first. And for me, I always put myself last priority, frankly speaking. Always other people first, taking care of other people first. The problem is we also need to learn how to receive. Receive in the sense, a simple thing, like people say, oh, you look great today with your shirt or whatever. You say thank you. You know, those that say, yeah, no lah, you know, this is so fake lah. Okay, so learn how to receive, right? And when people want to give you care or whatever, you need to have that antenna to receive it. All right, don't always push back, you know, like, no, it's okay, I'm okay, you know. It's okay to show your vulnerability as well. We're women, you know. Men, maybe they will hide, right? They don't want to show you. They cry in the toilet when they shower, I think. But we are women. We have the advantage. We on and off. We must be able to show our vulnerability so that, you know, people take care of us as well. And the self-care part, I would actually break it down into a few stages, frankly speaking. When you are younger, you have more time for yourself. Before you have children, you talk about self-care, your own wellness, right, and things like that. But your priority will switch. As a mother, it's natural. You know, your hormone and everything will tell you that you will have to switch to your child. It's very natural and it's not wrong, okay? So then your priority is different. Right, and then when the kids grow younger, like my kids now, they're 14, 15, they don't need me anymore. That's why I'm free on Friday. You know, they don't need me anymore. But by the way, they are in the summer holiday. So we can do what we want to do, like yoga or whatever. Learn about what is the nutrition thing. You know, protect yourself, self-defense. Also, wellness is one of them, especially when we get aging. You know, I'm not sure when I'm answering questions, but I think different stages, you have different way of conducting self-care towards yourself.
I guess mine took years to understand and learn it as well, to be very frank. I was really overworking. I hurt my body a lot by working, like I was studying and working at the same time for the grant. I remember crying in my car because that's the only place I have time to cry for. That's how bad my self-care was back then. And I mean, we all go through it, right? You know, when we have this whole roller coaster and then you have no one to talk to, you have no idea what you're doing. I can imagine we all have that phase where we're just so clueless and we're just questioning again and again. And you just hope that, you know, in the next 5 years, if you last through that 5 years, that, okay, I see some fruit, like it's bearing fruits, right? But who knows? So I remember that, you know, self-care, how it happened, like how gradually I took care of myself is by learning one thing. I think I heard online, it says learning to say no is actually the best self-care ever. For example, I always tend to be a yes person also. You want to go out? Yes. You want to take care of your mother today? Yes. Do you want to go and take the dog for a walk? Yes. Everything, yes. Then end up no time for yourself. So the minute you can clock out, like for example, maybe a short 3 hour in a Saturday morning, you just don't want anyone to kacau you or bother you. It's just saying no to everything in that 3 slot. And then just giving that time for yourself without feeling like it's an excuse or without feeling sorry that you're saying no. I think that's self-care. And if we can do that, then there's improvements slowly along the way. Yeah, hope that helps.
Let's just say one day I choose to have children, and the first 3 months people are telling me like, oh, morning sickness. But right now my morning is like 6:15. I'm up. You know, I'm like jogging, and then after that I have time to read, and then now I have to like think about kids at the same time, trying to manage the team, and the team is telling me, please don't be pregnant, please don't be pregnant. 2 more years, give us time, you know. So I'm like wondering how other women do it. I mean, my sister's the closest example, but I think as women, there's always like a work in progress as to having that time for ourselves. Like maybe next time I won't be able to jog 10 kilometers anymore. I'll be like 5, maybe 1 if I'm lucky, you know. So thank you so much for answering my question. I think it's a never-ending progress to work on for self-care.
If I can actually add on, I think the other tip would be open communication with your spouse, or even if you have children, right? So I specifically will tell, actually during the MCO, that's where I discovered about the self-care thing. You got to put yourself first, right? So I've actually told them that, you know, I want to take time for myself, And you may think that I'm being selfish, but if I don't do that, then I cannot function properly for the both of you. So sometimes when I do that, then my daughter will go out to my husband and say, oh, mommy's being selfish now. But it's fine because you have communicated to them the reason why you want to do it, and they accept it, right? So yeah, I think you will have to express it to your sister to the husband and everything. Or you just have to have that communication going. Yeah. Thank you for your question.
Can I add one thing though? I think this really like brought back a memory or somewhere that I heard it off, which was so interesting, but it really got you thinking. Here's one example. Let's say biggest company, let's say Google. Now, right now CEOs are male, right? But just another world, Google, the CEO is a female. But the minute they both have children, they straight away empathize on the woman. And people are scared to then, oh, do we invest? The CEO now is busy. She's going to be a mother. She can't manage a company more. She won't be in time, to manage her team. But on the other side, the guy is also being a father, but no one gives him any, there's no, not say pity in a sense, but no one is going to question his capability. Yeah. So I think as a woman in this day and age, it's very pathetic, I would say, that we always have to prove ourselves. But I guess that's what we do. The minute a baby borns out, we are the ones that are still going to be there no matter what. So I don't know how will we balance that ever.
I guess it's a bit difficult to change, but yeah, everybody has to go through that sort of a journey. Yeah. I think we probably only have time for one question because we are running late. Anyone else has a question? Any question from a guy in the room? Oh, okay, lady. Yeah. No, the guys are very shy. The ladies take over the world these days. Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
okay.
we can.
Hi, Shabina from Ad Zafar. So a question I had was for both of you ladies. What are some of the misconceptions you had as a woman that you had to overcome in business or even during the funding process? It's a very simple question. Misconception, biases, just challenges that you had as a woman that you had to overcome.
Oh, for me, very classic. Women, tech. You know tech? Tech is always equals to male, not women. Come on, Alibaba also said that Jack Ma also said he doesn't know tech, but he's in the Alibaba business, right? So, I mean, it's how we function. And actually, sometimes we, regardless, female or male, don't take all this judgment too seriously. Right? We know our own values. We know where we could contribute. We know what are the gaps that we are filling in. Right? We have superpower. That's why only women can get pregnant, men cannot. I'm so sorry to say this, but yeah. Right? So we have the superpower. Believe in yourself. Listen to your body. And don't take all these things too seriously. As long as you know that you have been putting your 100% into something, you wait for the results, right? I mean, yeah, my team always say, I have challenges as well when remember I'm doing sales, right? I'm talking about product, but the tech team talk about the logic and yada, yada. At the end, I say, okay, I say, I don't care. This client, right? All clients are our customers, they are very valuable to us, right? So this is the feedback, do what you're supposed to do, right? I do not know tech, but from the market, from the feedback, that's the truth that they tell us where are we lacking, right? You don't need tech to tell you where are you lacking. You collect information from the market, from your customer to know where you're lacking. So I'm speaking on behalf of my customers, and I don't need tech on saying that or telling you that, you see. So it's all about ourselves. It's actually not what people say. It's how we take things into our digestion system, into our own digestion, and how we react into it. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Thanks. Sui?
I think partly I do agree. I guess it's just how do we interpret it, and then after that, I guess, choke it out, because no point keeping such feelings. Like, for example, I remember it was a business competition I entered, very odd. It was like a 30-day in a bungalow. They tried to do the version of board of directors version. So I remember being the youngest, the only female in a 20 participant competition. It was the oddest feeling and the most uncomfortable, but yet I just, pulled through. I guess the great outcome of it all, I won first runner-up. But the very scariest feeling, not say scariest feeling, icky feeling I would say, was that when I did the presentation, at that time, you can imagine how long ago, the politician was a male. He just sat there. And the minute I opened my mouth, I saw his eye roll. Like, I don't know how I explain that feeling to you, but you could almost tell, the winner is going to be a male already. Like, I bet you not. And that's what happened. So, what do I take after that is just, just swipe it away. I just take whatever winnings I did and continue my journey. Because in the end of the day, I guess I run the business, not them. Whatever they say behind my back isn't going to affect me or what they think about women. So, like what you said, it's just how do we remove this skepticism of them, but then prove it with our own will. Yeah. I hope that helps.
Thank you. Do you mind if I ask just one more, a short question?
Do you want to catch up with them during the networking? Then
The reason why I think it might help the men in the audience, I just want to know, what do you think as men could do to help and support women in their journey to become entrepreneurs? What can men do to support their women, whether a spouse or co-workers?
you should have brought your boyfriend or your husband to this forum.
What men should do, right?
What can they do more to support?
Okay, the
and
men
help?
better listen up, okay?
Simple. Just listen.
Whatever your wife or your girlfriend say, yes. Yeah.
I agree, yes. I guess listen and understand. They may listen, but they may not understand.
I'm not sure my scale-up male partners, do you guys agree? That whatever your wife say, you must say yes?
They're not listening.
They weren't listening.
Okay, that wraps up our panelist session. I want to say thank you to Steph and Sue Yii for all the intimate sharing as well. They will be here after this, after the pitching session, they'll be here. If you guys want to catch up with them, you can also speak to them unless you're hurrying back to wear a different hat after the session. So, yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
Yes.
you.